Hi, I'm Don Graham, Director of Safety for Jensen Precast. In this video, we're going to explain the Metaltech near-miss reporting system and how it works. Why set up a near-miss reporting system? How are near misses reported at Jensen Metaltech? What kind of near misses are reported? What is done with the near misses that are reported? In the shop environment, there are unsafe conditions and unsafe acts. These conditions change every day with work orders, different job environments, and different forms or tooling we may have. The prevention of injuries is very important in these unsafe acts, and that's why we quantify and want to measure near misses.
So here's an example of a near miss that happened just last week. When you come into our office, we've got a tile floor. It snowed last week. Someone brought snow in on their boots, left a puddle on the floor, and an employee slipped on it. A near miss that got reported that we could act on and make everyone aware, watch out for slippery floors.
Now let's look at the data and what it tells us. At Metaltech last year, you can see they had 398 near misses. 247 of those were unsafe acts. Each one of those unsafe acts could have been a lost time accident, recordable incident, or worst case scenario, it may have been a death. That's why they're important to quantify. Metaltech has created a near-miss hotline card. This card is for every employee and they put it in their pocket. What the card does, it allows the employee to report by phone any near miss, such as unsafe acts, unsafe equipment, unsafe conditions, or unsafe use of equipment. When the caller calls the hotline, they provide a description of the potential hazard and list any root causes that they may have discovered. And they list any corrective actions that they see can be taken. And your name is always optional on this report. Some examples of near misses that have happened at Metaltech in November, an individual is working on a door and he did not have the weight distributed properly on his working table. What happened was the door fell off and it landed almost on the person's foot. If it would have landed on his foot, it probably could have been an amputation of the foot because it landed above the steel toe. Another example, it happened on November as well. A robot welder, the 100 IB one, broke, and a fixture on it broke, and a door fell out of the fixture. As an example, equipment failure. So these two examples point out unsafe act by not placing the door on the table properly, and of course an unsafe equipment that broke in process and could have caused injuries but did not. Here's an example of what you get when a near miss occurs. First, the person reporting the near miss does it verbally over a phone. Google then records it and digitizes it into an email message that goes out to all supervisors. They get this message, and attached to this file is also the audio wave file of the phone recording. That way, action can be taken immediately if there's a serious condition.
Now, let's watch the weekly administrative toolbox, which starts with a review of the near-miss call-ins from the prior week.
All right, so does anybody have a guess on the number of near misses that were called in?
11, 10.
I don't know, I didn't count them.
Did you get the one I called in this morning?
No, I did not. There's 8. That's an 8 on here. We'll see if any of them are doubles. So that's pretty important. All right, so Wednesday about 2 o'clock, this person was walking out to the yard, and then when they walked back in, they realized that they had their glasses on, not safety glasses. Just wanted to call it in. So what do we think that is?
I'd say back.
An act? All right. What else took place yesterday? Does anybody remember?
James got always remember.
Excellent. So James, why don't you take a minute, maybe come down here and explain to the group what you experienced yesterday.
My name is James. I'm a maintenance technician, and yesterday I was working on a piece of equipment. I was trying to align a reed switch that goes on a hydraulic cylinder, and I was reaching in. I had interlock doors open, and where I failed was thinking that the interlock doors would secure that machine from moving so that I could have power on for the switch to be able to tell when it's in position, and it actuated with my arm in it, trapping me. And kudos to Mike Kellier again for helping get me out. He pried it open, I pulled my arm out, and then immediately reported it.
Excellent. Thank you, James. So pretty serious accident yesterday. That had the potential, if it was a different type of energy source or possibly a different machine, the way he was trapped, he could have lost his arm. Could have been a really, really bad deal. So I don't want to minimize it by saying, hey, we got really lucky and James got really lucky. There's some fundamental things that we need to figure out in our process of stored energy and how we ended up in this situation in the first place. As a collective group, we want to make sure that we don't have any processes that would allow somebody to get into a situation where they could potentially get injured, especially in this way, because this is pretty severe, or could have been pretty severe. So thank you for sharing that, James.
Now let's watch the daily operations toolbox, which starts with a review of the near-miss call-ins from the prior day.
And our call-ins, we have 4 call-ins. First one is Eric in the 460 well building, and he observed an employee not wearing safety glasses. So he let them know to get safety glasses on, and they did. Next one was James Stradley, and he was doing his daily maintenance walk around, and he noticed that between the 470 and 480 buildings over there in the racks that there's some material on the top, and it looked like it was going to slip off, so he let Mike know, and Mike took care of it. Next one was in 460, he found a tool made out of 3/4 bar. It's hanging up on the wall, looked like it could fall off. He talked to the operator about it. He said that the operator never used it, so they threw it out. And then the last one was at the PPE station at the paint booth for the can puncturing device. There was goggles up there, and I guess one of the straps was not attached, so he reattached it.